Billion Dollar Brain is the third and last of the Harry Palmer spy films shot in the 60s. Like the others, it's based on a novel by British author Len Deighton and produced by Harry Saltzman, who, along with Albert R. Broccoli, produced the James Bond films. The Ipcress File was the first, and it made a star of Michael Caine, for which we are eternally thankful. Like Palmer's Wardrobe, the film is a drip-dry affair and rather down-market, a direct counterpoint, as it were, to the glitz and glamour of the James Bond films. I was 13 when I first saw this movie, and I loved it. And I loved the fact that the hero had blonde hair and glasses. I had blonde hair and glasses, so I was in. John Barry's score for the Ipcress File is Spy Guy Cool, but I found the book indigestible. The second Harry Palmer movie was Funeral in Berlin. I thought the book was a great spy thriller, but I found the movie turgid despite director Guy Hamilton's best efforts to bring it to life. On a side note, I was surprised to see German-Swiss actor Paul Hubschmidt. I remembered him from The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, where he was billed as Paul Christian. The third and last Harry Palmer movie, shot in the 60s, was Billion Dollar Brain. Director Ken Russell, the rising enfant terrible of the British film industry, seemed an odd choice to helm a spy film, and he gave us an odd movie in return. Midway through the movie, entire plot elements just disappear altogether. Harry Palmer, now working as a low-rent private eye, is hired to deliver a sealed thermos full of eggs to an address in Helsinki, Finland. The recipient turns out to be an old American friend named Leo Newbegin, who is retired from the CIA and who is now working for an eccentric Texas oil billionaire named General Midwinter. A raving anti-communist, Midwinter believes he can overthrow the Soviet Union by stirring up insurrection in the satellite countries. To this end, he's hired Newbegin to recruit a vast network of local saboteurs, or so he believes. But there is no network. Newbegin has been pocketing the wages of all these non-existent agents since the beginning. When Harry delivers the thermos, Newbegin sets him up for the murder of a Finnish scientist. He's rescued by his old boss, Colonel Ross, and once again, Harry is blackmailed into working for Her Majesty's Secret Service. It turns out the thermos full of eggs contains some nasty viruses that was stolen from an English research laboratory, and Midwinter intends to use them against the Russian army. Director Ken Russell tries to heighten the material with some quasi-Strangelovian satire and some America bashing, which was just coming into vogue, and the results, as they say, ain't pretty. But the imagery certainly is. Shot in Finland, the film is coldly beautiful to look at, as is co-star Francois Doliac, Catherine Deneuve's sister, who tragically died in a car accident weeks before the film's release. Karl Malden plays Leo Newbegin with sly, malicious glee. Leo knows he's a screw-up, but delights in it anyway. Ed Begley plays General Midwinter with all the scenery-chewing gusto he can manage, which is considerable. Oscar Homolka returns as Russian spy master Colonel Stock, and thank God he brings the film some much-needed warmth and humor. Bond veteran Sid Cain designed the sets, which are fairly impressive, but the big production number is an invasion force made up of oil tankers and snowmobiles as they race across the frozen Arctic waters towards Russia in a scene clearly inspired by Alexander Nevsky. The snowmobile was then a new kind of recreational vehicle, and its inclusion in the film seems like a nod in the direction of the Bond films, as does the title sequence by the great Maurice Binder. Visuals aside, the film boasts two other assets. One is a beautiful and haunting score by Richard Rodney Bennett, and the other is Michael Caine. He is effortlessly in command, and we follow him through every murky machination of the plot. Decades later, when the late director Curtis Hanson hosted a screening of the film at the American Cinematheque in Hollywood, I rushed to see it, because it was unavailable on home video for years due to a copyright issue involving a clip of the Beatles playing in the background of one particular scene. That clip is no longer in the movie. I give it 2.5 trench coats out of 4. See you around the campus.